So I was on the Dream SMP. I was looking for and also digging for something very specific that I want to find, because I don't know whether it still exists or it has been covered up and just buried in some way. But I think I found it, and I can show it to you guys. If you go down here on this hill, behind this duck and across from Tommy's bench over there, you can see this hole. Now, holes in the Dream SMP aren't that very special and also unique and such, but in this case, this one is very forgotten, because if you look down here, you can see it's a hole down. And it's not just a hole in the ground, it also leads to an old forgotten tunnel. If you have watched the Dream SMP when it was still going, or you have some familiarity with the server, you may not know what this tunnel is. But if you have watched my Dream Team SMP vs L'Manberg War documentary, you may know and could guess what this tunnel is all about. This tunnel is the tunnel where the Dream Team used after the Battle of the Two Towers to sneak down to and then run all the way to L'Manberg underground. And that's how they set up their ambush in the final control room and obliterated the L'Manberg army in there, and also led to Eret's betrayal. Unlike the final control room, this tunnel has been pretty much forgotten. Like, nobody cares or even knows of its purpose. It just exists, but it's just been buried and forgotten. Unlike the final control room, where it has been revisited several times. Like, for instance, Technoblade killing Quackity in this exact tunnel. And looking at the ambush tunnels that the Dream Team has set up to get all the way to the final control room and ambush the L'Manbergians, you can see there are some other branching tunnels here. Like, this tunnel goes all the way to this position, which has a sign called Person 1. And there are also signs for Person 2 and Person 3, which is where the Dream Team would stand behind and then wait for the signal to occur. And then when it activates, it will open the doors and then allow them to kill the L'Manbergians. Now, after the war, the Dream Team and Eret, who are the only people who knew of this tunnel's purpose, went on to tell the others about this tunnel and how they set up their ambush. And pretty much afterwards, it's just left forgotten. Like, its usage is just redundant, and it's pretty much complete. And so it's pretty much forgotten afterwards. But there are several times when it was once again revealed. Like, for instance, just 2 blocks away from this tunnel, you can see this massive hole. This is the intimidation hole that Tommy dug out with Drista, aka Dream's sister, during the Manberg era, when he wants to show Poctopia's power and its resolve in reclaiming L'Manberg. And so he basically dug this hole all the way down to bedrock levels to intimidate Manberg, and then used the cobblestone from it to build the intimidation tower just right over there. And then another time this forgotten tunnel was uncovered was during whatever happened here. Yeah, Tommy just pretty much blown up a lot of blocks over here. Like, you can see there's some cobblestone because I built it so that we can see how the tunnel is supposed to be before all of this earth is just uncovered and just pretty much blown up. Also part of the tunnel and also some parts of the sewer over there, you can see. But the rest of the tunnel is pretty much fine. And this is the forgotten tunnel from the Dream Team SMP vs. Lamberg War. It's still here, and it's pretty much forgotten about, because the only sources indicating this tunnel's existence was through Arit's stream, which not many people had archives of, and a forgotten Dream SMP video by Puns, who showed the only POV from the Dream Team's side during the Dream Team SMP vs. Lamberg War, where he actually showed the Dream Team going down this tunnel all the way to Lamberg and setting up their ambush. Today the video is privated, but I still had some clips that I had of the video when I was making the Dream Team SMP vs. Lamberg War documentary. So overall, despite how many things that has occurred on the Dream SMP, some things are just pretty much forgotten, and it's down to those who still kinda cared to review them once more. Here is another tunnel that is also a relic from the Dream Team SMP vs. Lamberg War, and is also kind of forgotten. Now, if you go down this tunnel that I just dug in the ground, it's actually just covered up by grass blocks because a lot of terraforming had occurred here. Like, all of this is supposed to be water, but it's just the water is dried up. Anyways, if you go down this hole dug specifically here, just right near Carl's theme park, you can see it's another tunnel down, and you can see this is another familiar place. This is the place where Tommy evacuated the remaining Lambergians down to after Lamberg was blown up, and you can see the secret tunnel here. And it's supposed to go all the way down under somewhere there, but as you can see, this crater is in the way, and what's left of the tunnel is just right here. Like, it technically ends right here because there are some other builds that are just in the way, or it's just built right over it, and so it's covered up the entrance. Luckily, the other entrance is still there, which means we can have access to this obsidian room where the Lambergians gathered together here and just discuss what to do next after the nation was blown up. And then up this hole, this is where they peek out of in order to talk to the Dream Team afterwards. Like, you have a clear view of the Lamberg walls originally over in that direction, and then they just came out and then just walk all the way to like over there to talk and negotiate with the Dream Team. And unlike the other tunnel that was kind of mostly forgotten by the people who originally used it, this tunnel did not, because when Tommy and Wilbur were exiled from Lamberg, they just so happened to like stumbled across it all the way from Poctopia and just emerged just outside of Lamberg through this exact same hole. So yeah, it's also a pretty big deal when Lamberg was for a few months or so became Manberg, because this tunnel allowed the Poctopians to go from all the way from the ravine way over there to just pop up right here and just have a look at Manberg, and also get into Manberg in order to spy on what they're going to do and stuff. So I've shown today 2 relics from the Dream Team SMP vs. Lamberg War. Although a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff, has changed on the server, the thing is that history sometimes has a way of preserving itself by burying it deep underground.